Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jase Alexander Ospina. I lead Liftoff. I am passionate about tech, startups, and helping people by adding value. Today, what we're going to do is talk a little bit about choosing a business partner. And what I want to do is I want to share with you 3 tips on how to do that. Let's go. Basics. Why do you need a business partner? So I'm going to share with you 5 different reasons as to why you need a business partner. Let's start with number 1. You have weaknesses. That's obvious, that's clear, we all have them. You need somebody to help you complement your weaknesses. Now, perhaps you're somebody who understands that you're really good at getting organized with the finances, but perhaps you're not quite as good with the sales, and that's okay. You need somebody to complement you with your weaknesses. Number 2, maybe you need somebody to come on board to help you making balanced decisions. It's important to have somebody that sees the opposite to you and doesn't always see the same things as you do. When somebody else sees it on a different way to you and comes to you as your partner and gives it to you, you're more likely to make balanced decisions. Number 3, it can become, and it will become, a very lonely journey. You're going to be working really long, hard hours. When you work really long, hard hours, the rest of your mates are outside at the pub, going out to a bar, having a laugh, having fun, maybe on a Sunday, relaxing, watching some Netflix, and you're going to be working, you're going to be doing the books, you're going to be following up on your team. It's an incredibly lonely journey. There's nothing better to look across from the table and to see your partner in crime and kind of know you have somebody to support you with that. Number 4, have areas of focus. A business has many areas. So when you have a business that's more established, you have an entire department full of many people to fill something out, whether it's HR, whether it's sales, whether it's to do with the legal side, whether it's to do with managing the team on a daily basis, there's a selection of different things you have to do. When you have a business partner, you can break that up. So for example, with my business partner, Nuwan, as some of you will know from our podcasts, he takes care of sales here in Colombia, and I take care of sales in the UK and the US. He takes care of HR. I take care of what the team is doing on a day-to-day basis. Nuwan is incredibly patient, me not so much. I have a little bit more of an emotional streak behind me, let's say. So having somebody that you can divide and conquer with is incredibly valuable. Point number 5. Somebody will be there to help you keep going when you want to give up. And that's going to happen. And it's going to happen frequently because it's going to be really hard. So having somebody to be there and to support you and say, hey, look, let's go, let's keep going. That's key. That's so important. And at some point, your business partner is going to need the same kind of thing. So, when you get up and you kind of dust yourself off, trust me, you're going to get hit again. You're going to go back on the floor. Every now and then you need somebody to extend their arm out and say, look, get up, let's keep going. So having somebody to do that and to help you along the way, it's really key and really important. Okay, so now you know why you need a business partner. Let me share with you 3 tips on how to do that. So tip number 1, identify your weaknesses. So I'm going to break this down into 3 sections for you. Section number 1, IQ versus EQ. Okay, so look, you may have a group, you may have a team, you may have a business partner with you, and you may find that their emotional intelligence is really on point. They don't go crazy, they don't have like an overwhelming amount of emotions that allows them to control how they think and how they feel and how they express themselves. They're really on point with their EQ. But perhaps their knowledge of what you're actually doing is not quite as high. So I kind of think of this as IQ versus EQ. There's a lot of people out there with really high levels of intelligence in the application of certain quality of work, but when it comes to managing and speaking with people or managing emotions, that's really hard for them. So one of the things that you can do when you look for somebody is think, do you have a high IQ, low EQ? Do you have a high EQ, low IQ? Maybe you have a really high IQ, have no idea what EQ means. Maybe you're emotionally really connected, but you're not the best at any particular specific field. So think of IQ versus EQ. And if you understand this and you kind of get that, I would love to hear your comments below if you have a business partner who's just has the most insane EQ. Now, the next one is something that I think many of you will understand, and that is a thinker versus a doer. So what's a thinker? What is a doer? A thinker is somebody who can sit down just with a thought and come up with a plan. Somebody that can come up with a vision. A doer is somebody who's really, really great at saying, okay, so tell me what's the plan? And they can go and execute that. So when you have somebody that can do that thinking, somebody that can go and do the doing, then you actually have an unstoppable team, because as one person is doing, the thinker is thinking about the future, and then that business partner that's supporting you is then implementing that and creating that a reality. So thinker versus doer. Now, it's important to know one is not more valuable than the other. They're both incredibly valuable. If you think about it, it goes back to that whole yin-yang concept. And in yin-yang, it's that complementary black and white. Here it's thinker versus doer. And lastly, you have what's called a manager and a leader. Now, you could have really big debates about this. What's the difference between a manager? What's the difference between a leader? I was once with a group of friends who are, in my opinion, leaders. And they said, look, a leader is a new way just to say manager. But I think a manager helps to organize. I think a manager manages what everybody's doing, assigns the tasks, assigns what needs to be done, understands the targets, understands the goals, and really a manager organizes people. I think a leader is somebody who says, right, let's go. A leader is somebody who does. Again, this is just how I perceive it from my experience. And I think a leader is somebody who is also very quick to adapt, is very quick to understand what the changes need to be, and understands the vision of where things are going, can sell that vision to the team, and takes the team in that journey. You need somebody to plan, you need somebody to envision. So having those two is key in any team. When you're looking for your partner, your business partner, it's very, very important. You think about these different areas and think about what's your weakness, where are you, what's the strength you're looking for. So that's the first tip. Tip number 2, try to look at what is the track record of that person. Now, in the track record, there are 3 different elements. I want to talk about work ethic, delivering what they say they will deliver, and previous work results. Now, let's talk about work ethic. Guys, you're going to hear a lot about somebody saying, it's not about working hard, it's about working smart. No. It's not about working smart. You have to work hard. The reality is you have to do both. But if you do not have a strong work ethic, you're not going to be working there until 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night on a Saturday night. You may just want to go and relax. You are going to need to have somebody who's going to work with you and be willing to work really hard. Be willing to work. If they have another job, after they finish their job, they've got to be there grinding away, grafting, and helping you create what it is you're trying to build. That's super important. Work ethic is everything when it comes to finding somebody who's going to work with you. Okay, so the second here that I want to talk to you about is delivering what they say. Have a look to see if they say to you, I've done this, I've done that, I've done this, show me. Show me what you've delivered on. I want to see what you have done. That's so important. You're going to find a lot of people who are going to talk the big talk, but then can't follow that with a walk. So get them to show you what they have done, show you what they've delivered on and what they told you they have delivered on. And that connects to previous work results. Have a look to see what they've achieved before. Maybe what they've achieved before is small projects. That's fine. What's that last exciting project that they delivered on? And how does it look today? Is it still really, really good? Maybe it's actually something to do with the existing work they do. Maybe it could be nothing connected with the industry you're about to get into, but still you want to see the quality of the work. That speaks volumes. Don't go in there blind. Assess everything that you can before you start working together, and then once you start, it's 100% trust. Okay, so tip number 3 is pick one leader. I'm going to talk to you 6 reasons why. 1, you need somebody to have the final say. Somebody that sets the vision, somebody that connects everything, somebody that sets example, somebody that keeps balance, and somebody that keeps people focused. Final say. What do I mean by this? You're going to have disagreements, you're going to have lots, as your team grows, you're going to have lots of different opinions. If you have 2 people that are both the leader, it's impossible, because if one disagrees with the other, which one do you go with? You need to have somebody that will make that final decision, somebody that will take responsibility for that final decision and own it. So have somebody that will have the final say. Decide who that is. I've worked before in a small business that had 3 awesome guys, and when I worked there, it was clear they didn't know who the leader was. It was 3 guys, all co-leaders, and I think at times that created challenges. It's very important you pick who is the leader from the very beginning. If maybe it's you and a business partner, maybe it's you and 3 others, pick a leader. Point number 2, set the vision. The leader sets the vision, then sells the vision to the rest of the team. If you have 2 different visions, you have somebody saying, let's go to the right. Somebody says, no, the future's on the left. You're not gonna go anywhere. Have somebody that sets that vision and sells that vision to the team is key. Is what's gonna allow you guys to grow and do some really incredible stuff. The leader sets the vision. Number 3 is connecting everything. You're gonna have many people in your team as you grow. Everybody is gonna be doing their own thing. It's very difficult to get one person to do many things. There's certainly nobody's going to do everything in the business. So what the leaders of that team and of that business will do is they will work with each individual separate person and then help everybody in the end connect what they're doing. Maybe the person to the left doesn't necessarily need to know what the person to the right is. They're working on one area, the other person's working on other. The leader brings it together and makes sure that he understands or she understands what both of those different people are doing so that it can actually be something that really works together. Number 4 is sets the example. Somebody who says, look, I want you to make sure you deliver on your word, and somebody that sets the rules of the business and of the team has to set the example and then be the person who lives it, the person who breathes it. Having a leader that does that makes it so much easier for everybody else to do the same. Number 5, keeps balance. So you may have people that have different views. A leader's role is to make sure that all those views are heard and where possible are implemented in a way that keeps things balanced. That's incredibly important. And point number 6, a leader keeps people focused. So you may have many people in your team. There are many things that need to be done. If you have somebody in the team that is leading, their job is to make sure, look, don't do A, B, C, just focus on A. I'll take care of B and C. Maybe you as the leader then have to do B and C so that person can focus on A, or you can work with your team to get support on B whilst you do C. But get your team to focus on one thing at a time. Focus is the absolute key for it to work. Okay, really important. Those 3 tips are gonna guide you really well. This has been a great video, and it's a video that I'm actually very excited to deliver. I am by no means a multi-millionaire, super, what's the word for it? How can you say this in a way that actually kind of makes sense? I'm not somebody that people would probably say I'm super successful, because I haven't yet reached that, but I'm on that journey, and I've been on that journey now for just over 4 years, and so far some really great stuff has been achieved. And I want to take this space to document that journey, but I also want to take that space to share the lessons that I learn as I learn them on this journey. So a mixture of documenting and sharing is the reason why I'm also creating this channel. So this channel will become Tech and Startups, and the purpose of that is to talk about technology because we're really passionate about it, and a lift off what we do is technology. But then startups is also something I'm really passionate about, and I've been passionate about the idea of having a business and leading a business since I was, 6 years old. It's something that I really want to share with you guys. Now, what I want you to do is, number 1, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, do. I hope you're going to be seeing a lot of content in the future to do with technology and to do with startups. And next, I want you to know that as soon as we get to 100 subscribers, we're going to be doing a giveaway for all the people out there that want to create content. One of the things that we did is we've just recently purchased a new microphone for videos, and we bought a microphone for our podcast. When we get to 100 subs, we're going to be giving away a microphone. No one, I didn't tell you, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to be giving away a microphone so that anybody who subscribes to this channel can start their own content and start producing their own podcast and getting their message out there. I hope that in the time we get to 100 subscribers, we'll then be hopefully in around 10 or 12 videos, and the quality of our video will continue improving, the quality of our podcast will continue improving. So subscribe, help us get to 100. We're going to have an amazing giveaway. Follow us on Instagram and you're going to see content is going to be starting to go out there for you to complement and take away from what you're seeing in these videos, with a bit of cuts of different things we're going to be doing here. And lastly, I want you to visit our website on techinstartups.com. That's techinstartups.com. If you can visit that website, you'll see this kind of content in written format on there as well. So let's wrap up. Let's get out some text on the board. Okay, now you hopefully are seeing the board. So wrap up with, why do you need a business partner? Complement your weaknesses, making balanced decisions. It's a very lonely journey. Have areas of focus and keep going when you want to give up. What were the 3 tips? Tip number 1, identify your weakness. Tip number 2, keep somebody and bring somebody on that has a proven track record. And tip number 3, when picking your business partner, pick one leader. So thank you so much for tuning into this very first video of hopefully many to do with entrepreneurship, to do with startups. We're not just going to be talking about technology, we'll also be talking about startups. Remember to subscribe. We're going to have that giveaway at 100, and I would love to hear your comments below on which of those 3 tips you most agree with and you most feel is relevant and correct for you. Which one do you believe I may have missed? And what other videos would you like to see in the future? Until then, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope to speak to you in the comments, and until then, peace.